Welcome to Feed Yourself, hosted by Avery.
Hey, for our first episode today, we will be going through Eggs 101. We'll be making boiled eggs, scrambled eggs, and fried eggs. First, we'll be making our boiled eggs. So what you will need is a pan and a lid, salt, eggs, and water.
We're going to start by adding eggs into the pan. It doesn't matter how many you do as long as they all fit at the bottom of the pan. Next, we're going to add water until the eggs are just covered. Now we're going to head over to the stove and sprinkle some salt over your eggs and add the lid. Now to turn on the stove, you're going to press down and turn it to ignite until you hear the popping, and then turn it to high. Now sit back and let your water come to a rolling boil.
So after you turn off the burner, you're going to let your eggs sit there in the pan in the hot water with the lid on for 13 minutes. Alexa, set a boiled egg timer for 13 minutes.
Boiled egg timer, 13 minutes, starting now.
After your 13 minutes is up, head over to the sink with the lid on and drain your eggs. Be careful not to crack them. Also, be sure to use a hot pad when touching your lid. It's going to be hot. Now we're going to head over to the freezer to grab a lot of ice. Make sure you really pile it on.
Now that we've gotten our ice and put it in here, we're just going to let these sit on the stove and cool off.
Once your eggs are finally cooled off, we're going to gently crack the shell all the way around the egg and gently start to peel off the shell. And remember that it may not look perfect, but it tastes the same. Now make sure you head over to the sink to make sure that you get all the shell off of it. Now dig in.
Now we'll be making our scrambled eggs. You'll need a skillet, a spatula, eggs, and butter. And then we're also going to be using some milk and cheese if you want to. It's just some extra add-ins. That's how my dad always makes it, how he always taught me to make scrambled eggs, so let's get to it.
First, we're going to start by cracking our eggs. I sometimes crack them on the side of the bowl, and sometimes I crack them on a paper towel on the counter. It really just depends on your preference. Remember not to crack them too hard, otherwise you'll have eggs everywhere. Now remember, this part is optional. I added 1/4 of a cup of 2% fat milk. Then I added in about 1/4 of a cup of cheese. And then you just whisk this together in circular motions around the bowl. It may take a little while to get this skill down, but once you get it, it's like riding a bike. Let's head over to the stove. Turn it on to about low to medium, right in between. Now add your butter or your coconut oil or your avocado oil for a healthier option, and let that melt. Once your butter has completely melted, add in your egg mixture. Occasionally scrape the bottom and the sides of your pan to ensure that your eggs are getting cooked. About a minute in, you should start to see little clumps of egg forming. Keep scraping up those sides. Once they're fluffy and hardly liquidy, you're about done. Grab your plate and serve them. Don't forget your salt and pepper.
Wait, I need more eggs. Okay, so next we're gonna do fried eggs. It's our last eggs for our 101 today. We're going to be using our skillet again, our spatula, of course, our eggs, and butter. Don't know where I put it, but we're gonna be using butter.
First, turn your burner on in between low and medium. Now add your butter and let it melt. Also, make sure you spread it around the pan. That's very important for fried eggs. Crack your egg and try to make sure it's in the middle of the pan. It's okay if it's not. Now let it cook for about 2 minutes on each side. Occasionally lift up the egg and move it around to make sure it's not sticking to the pan. This is the hardest part. Flip it. Again, try to make sure it's in the middle of the pan. To check the runniness of your egg, poke it a little bit, but not enough to puncture. Now transfer it to your plate. When you cut into it, it should be a little runny, depending on how long you cooked it. Don't forget salt and pepper.
So that's it for today's Egg 101. We made boiled eggs, scrambled eggs, and a fried egg, and they were all delicious and turned out great. So I hope that yours turned out great too, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!